So the premise of today's video is pretty simple. We're gonna go through some of the best builds that I built on Bedrock Edition of 2025. So coming in at a respectable number one is this traditional style house that I built in creative. It didn't have much of a vision, but a lot of my builds, they just come from my brain. This was a world that I planned to build multiple houses, but I just built this one house and I still think about it a lot. It's just a very cozy house. I would live in this house. We have a little garage up front and a little rain gutter off to the side of that, just to add some realism. The back of it is sort of plain, but I got it fenced in. I had planned to add a back porch area, but I just never got to it. But yeah, you walk in, nice little front yard area with some grass and some flowers and a little bush area right here just in front of the front porch with the balcony. Little seating area for you to sit here, play some chess, some checkers. Checkers is a boy's game. Chess is a man's game. Okay, let's get back to it. Oh, there goes those creepy Minecraft sounds for no apparent reason. So like I mentioned, the interior in here, or maybe I haven't mentioned it, is not complete. If you walk right through the front doorway, you have a staircase going right upstairs, but we're not going to go there just yet. We're going to bust a right and then a left. And then you got the kitchen area, which is very cozy, very practical for the space, a little sink area. It's a little plain in here, but I was rushing on the interior, so imagine if I took my time. And then if you walk through the kitchen area into the pantry area, we have, you know, some crates, some barrels up there. I just thought this was funny that I put an uncooked piece of meat in the pantry. Not ideally where you'd want to store that realistically, right? And then in here we just have a seating area. Pretty simple. Some bookshelves, a painting, bar seats in case you want to sit here. I didn't have space for a dining room table, so had to make this work with the pressure plates as well. You guessed it, plates. The cups full of that is not poop. All right, it's hot chocolate. Use your imagination. All right, and then if we walk through here, we come into kind of the main seating room. Well, one of the hardest things about building houses in general, I would probably say, is the interior, because you have to make sense of the space, and that can be hard. So that's why there's a lot of unfinished space. But if you walk through the seating area, you have obviously the garage. Typically, I'd build like, maybe a tool set, or again, kind of rush this interior. But if you walk back through here, a little hallway area, walkway, you know what this is when you got to handle some business. Yeah, plop, plop. You feel me? Okay, it's okay if you've already left the... And then over here, obviously got a little shower area. I like how this turned out. Got to have the window high up. Can't let them see you butt booty naked. As I mentioned before, this was going to be like a kid's bedroom, like a little single child's bedroom. Just didn't finish it. Yeah, nice little sun rays coming through from outside. And then over here, I don't know what this was going to be. Probably another bedroom, if I had to imagine. But if we walk upstairs, this is like my favorite part of the house. Like this just came together so well. Feel like I've been in a house like this before, and you walk up here, lots of room for fun. I don't know if you guys want to see me finish builds like this, just let me know. But yeah, up here you could imagine this being another like twin size bedroom, and if you walk down this hallway, maybe another bedroom. The window is not symmetrical. Stuff like that would usually drive me crazy, but it's okay. We push forward. This is my favorite room of the house. I mean, for obvious reasons. This turned out very well. This is the master bedroom. Some wall art here. It's just appeasing to look at because you got some bush designs in the corner, and then you got some paintings with some flower pots. No, these aren't the same cups downstairs that had mud in them. And then this is just like a comforter. But the trick is I used some carpet, split it so that it looks a little... I just tried to make the comforter look like it was rigid. And obviously you've got a ceiling fan with some end rods to hold it together, but it's a sneaky way to implement some light. What's up, horse? You trying to come in? Well, we don't have a stable for you in there, so. But yeah, that's number one on the list. This kind of traditional style house. Maybe more to come here. I don't know. It all depends. If you guys want to see like a little series of me building more houses similar to this or making a whole neighborhood, on to the next. Coming in at number two is a little survival house that is definitely achievable, and you can easily build it on your own. Just spruce logs, cobblestone, spruce stairs, spruce fences, lanterns, some stone bricks, and that fireplace may look functional, but that's just a campfire. And there goes Dingleberry on the roof to make himself known. See, we got a dock area where you can store the boat, but not really. I mean, it's pretty simple. To me, I look at this and it feels really simple. But to some people who don't build houses,
What the dog doing?
my dog is gonna make himself known today. Relax, Dingleberry. If you hear noises in the back, that's because there still is a horror entity in this world. But we'll go ahead and tour the inside. There is not much to show, but I'll first start here. I believe this area goes down to a huge storage. Yes. And then there's also a underground, looks like some illegal operations going on down here, but I promise it's just a wheat farm. You know, we aren't distributing that Mary Jane. But yeah, nice little storage area, probably an excessive amount of storage without the use of any other light down here. You might not really know where all the light's coming from. So another sneaky way to implement some light. This is just a little stable area to store some farm animals. Like you, Dingleberry, sit. Gosh, bro thinks he's the main character. And then if you walk outside, back outside that is, this is where the front door is. You walk through here. Not much is going on, just a random bed. The survival house interiors are usually really plain. So there isn't much to show for. I typically go all out on the exterior. I leave the interior to be as functional as needed. Coming in at number 3 is this monster of a survival house. This thing, again, another house that was just kind of made for one video, and that was it. Where's my, well, I'm trying to make a cinematic moment. I'm over here digging in my butt, twin. Let me get back over here and get back to the very nice survival house. The most convenient way to get access to this house is obviously through the water. So you take a boat, get up here, and you would depart. And we'll start with the front area where the farm is. Very nice, functional farm, since it is built on the water. This is nice when the sun rays hit through just right. Sometimes it happens, yeah, like sort of like right there, but it's not quite as majestic as when I use a texture pack. Anyway, and if we walk through here, this will just take me through the front main area. Like I mentioned before, the survival builds do not have the most practical interiors. It's just as needed. Little staircase that goes up to the second level, which is just some extra space for whatever you need, but it's there. And then you walk through this hallway area, got a nice little sunlight coming through the top there. That goes down to the mines and the caves. And you walk through here, just some furnaces with a high ceiling clearance and a balcony. This will take you up to the watchtower, which I like doing for most survival houses. I usually incorporate them within the house just so that I don't have to build a separate watchtower. So this one I was really happy with and turned out pretty good. Come up here, you can look out. For my needs and the style of survivals I do, the watchtowers are essential just because usually I have very, very scary monsters chasing me. And then here's a little lookout area. I don't know what you'd call these, but they give the impression that it's stabilizing the balcony because realistically, you know, physics say that you can't have something that hangs over this much without some support beams. That's the word I was looking for. But that's really the nooks and crannies of this house. It looks great from the outside. The inside's very functional. But yeah, take some inspiration from this. This is my number 3. What's the longest you've ever held your breath underwater? That's impressive, man. And coming in at number 4, we have a modern survival house. To be at number 4 seems kind of disrespectful, but some of you may remember this world. This is the controversial Biomes Plus Realism, which I believe they got like in trouble for stealing assets from other things like Realism Craft. But yeah, I still have the world with the Biomes Plus Realism installed. This house I just happened to build with that add-on. But we can do a quick fly around, get a top view of it, a side view. Can see everything that exists out here. It's built really well within these trees, which was kind of the aim. It was the goal. So we can go ahead and walk in here and give a little tour. If you bust a left, immediately you will be greeted with the farm and a really strange unknown logo on the house, but it's there. It looks wealthy. That's why I put it on there. So yep. You walk up here. This is the back entrance. Let's see another thing. These doors, they're all just broken like this. You can't fix them. And then, yeah, if we walk out here though, immediately you have a random tower. This was like one part of it that I didn't really understand, but it's here just in case you wanted to sleep on this balcony outside and look out into the forest. You walk back in and you take a left here. This is just the living space, the living quarters. Got some furnaces, some chests. And down here is a little sleeping area. And if you walk up here, you have a waterfall in this walkway, which was very unique design. I don't really pull this off often, but when I get an opportunity to have a waterfall in the house, I'm always proud of it. So it turned out good. Got some plants in the house. It's just a vibe. This house is just a vibe, honestly. I mean, there's not much to it. I really like it for the exterior. The interior is cozy, but the exterior is what really draws me in when I look at this house. That's why it sits at number 4. But yeah. Coming in at number 5. Well, it was my Better on Bedrock world. Some of you may be familiar with this world. Very simple builds here. Like, that's why it's at number 5. I really feel like these types of builds are too easy. I could see a lot of you being able to build this yourselves. These docks and these walkways when there's water, I love building on water, next to water. Water is just a must to have where your bases are in survival, in my humble opinion. But obviously over here, I incorporated the Nether portal, which is like as far as I got in my Better on Bedrock series. And then if you walk through here, this is one of my favorite parts of this house though, honestly. The contrast between the cobble deep slate and the wood and the patterns in the ceiling with this little old school, this chandelier feels very old school, just because we have a lot of new lighting in Minecraft, and I said, hey, screw it, I'm gonna slap some trapdoors on this slab with some fences and some torches. Just the most old school Minecraft chandelier you could possibly use, but I liked how it turned out. And then some very simple storage in here, and then you go up here and there's a sleeping area, just a little bedroom. Open window concept, just to have this window open was nice. Right here's a little diving board area just to jump off. Sometimes I feel like that, skeleton. I get it. And then this is like the initial house I built. Elementary stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. But got a little waystone area snuck behind my chest area. I was proud of that design for some reason. On to number 6. These gotta get worse. So when I was making this list, I'm not sure how this one made number 6, but I guess it did. This one's gonna be included in a video I plan on doing really soon. Another modern survival house build. Its beauty is definitely defined by the front of the house, I would say. But we can go ahead and take a quick little tour of the inside. We have some pale oak doors, another achievable survival house. There was a pale oak forest in that direction, and I was able to gather a bunch of pale oak and execute this house. But you walk in, very, very big open space and a watchtower attached to it, right? You're starting to see the theme. You're starting to pick up on it. Okay, cool. That means you're paying attention. Obviously, we'll need it for this type of world. If you know, then you know. But here's all right, this looks crazy. This is another portal incorporated in the house. Turned out very nice, very sleek. Go upstairs. Simple stuff here. Storage room, furnace, easy. This goes right back down. Stay tuned for the end of the video where I'm going to have some honorable Java Edition mentions. See, to some of you this might look good, but to me this just looks awful. But this is at number 7 for a reason. Pretty low on the list, high on the list, however you want to look at it. This is another take on a modern house. You know, sometimes you make houses and you're just not proud of them. This was one of those. It was all done legitimately in survival. All these materials. This one is polished diorite, polished andesite. I'll try to show you why. You walk in here. I mean, what is the point of this, right? And then you walk in here, another open area, staircase that goes up, and then another one. So that's number 7. Wow, that was really short. There's not much else to show you. What? So on God's green earth. Oh my gosh, dude. This world is destroyed. For those of you that don't recognize what this is, I was gonna showcase it. The mod pack is broken. Well, this is the Calling world, or this was the Calling world. So yes, the Calling series, that is like 27 episodes on my channel. This is it. It's just in a whole different biome, a whole different world. So much for an honorable mention. Okay, well, yeah. What did it do? Why does it look like this? Yo. Alrighty. Well, I'm leaving this in the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Hopefully we can increase this list throughout time. Let me know if you want any tutorials on any of these builds or what was your favorite. Leave it down below. Thanks for watching.